The rise of the Nigerian Nollywood industry. The Nigerian Nollywood industry is one of the most significant success stories in global cinema, evolving from humble beginnings to become the second largest film industry in the world, only behind India's Bollywood. Its rise is a remarkable testament to the ingenuity, resilience, and entrepreneurial spirit of Nigerian filmmakers who have managed to create a thriving industry with limited resources and infrastructure. Now, this discussion explores the history, factors contributing to the rise of Nollywood, its global impact, and the challenges the industry faces. Let's look at the early beginnings of this industry. Nollywood's roots can be traced to the early days of Nigerian cinema in the 1960s and 1970s. The country gained independence from Britain in 1960, and this period saw an emergence of films that reflected Nigeria's rich cultural heritage and diverse social realities. The pioneers of Nigerian cinema, including filmmakers such as Edi Ugboma, Ola Balogun, and Ogunde, produced films in indigenous languages and explored themes related to Nigerian traditions, identity, and post-colonial experiences. However, the industry struggled due to lack of infrastructure, resources, and government support. Nigerian cinema faced stiff competition from foreign films, particularly Hollywood and Indian films, which dominated the market. By the 1980s, the country's film industry was in decline, with the few cinemas that existed largely catering to international blockbusters. This was when the very first Nollywood film, Bob Ejike's Echoes of Wrath, was released. It won the National Award NAFEST and launched Richard Mofe-Damijo, who played the lead role. Echoes was commercialized in eastern Nigerian markets and syndicated to NTA Nigeria and watched in all Nigerian TV-owning homes. In the years that followed, Bob Ejike engineered the production of Okpuru Anyanwu, an Igbo language comedy series spotlighting the travails of the mercurial Mike Olifedema. This became the second Nigerian home video film experience, which ran until the 1990s, growing with the advent of affordable video technology, marking the birth of what is now known as Nollywood. In 1992, inspired by the success of the two earlier film efforts, Kenneth Nebwe released another low-budget film entitled Living in Bondage. The film became a thriller about a man who gains wealth through occult practices but faces dire consequences. It was shot on VHS camera, primarily intended for home video distribution. Surprisingly, Living in Bondage became an instant hit, selling hundreds of thousands of copies across Nigeria and the diaspora. Its success demonstrated that there was a vast untapped market for the locally produced films that spoke directly to the experiences and concerns of Nigerian audiences. The home video format revolutionized the Nigerian film industry. It democratized filmmaking by lowering the barriers to entry, allowing filmmakers to produce and distribute films without the need for traditional cinema infrastructure. The affordability of film cameras, combined with the widespread availability of the VCRs, enabled filmmakers to create content quickly and cheaply, catering to the demands of a vast and diverse growing audience. Nollywood films were often produced with low budgets, tight schedules, and little formal training. Despite these limitations, the industry grew rapidly, By the late 1990s and early 2000s, hundreds of films were being produced annually, covering a wide range of genres, including drama, comedy, romance, and traditional folk stories. Nollywood filmmakers often tackled themes that resonated with Nigerians, such as corruption, love, betrayal, supernatural beliefs, and the complexities of modern Nigerian society. Several factors contributed to the rapid growth and rise of Nollywood. The first factor we must mention is the effort of the electronic marketers who sold CDs and imported electronic materials, including CDs, from different parts of the world. And these people sponsored films as a kind of advert for the CDs that they imported. And they could sell literally thousands of CDs once they sponsored a film. And so they were supporting the film industry. So they basically became film sponsors. Affordability and accessibility. Nollywood's films were relatively cheap to produce and distribute, making them accessible to a broad audience. The home video format allowed Nigerians to watch films in the comfort of their homes, bypassing the need for expensive cinema tickets. Cultural relevance. Nollywood films resonated deeply with Nigerian audiences because they reflect the realities, struggles, and aspirations of everyday Nigerians. In much the same way they resonated and still resonate with Africans, because these experiences are similar. And that includes Africans in the diaspora worldwide. The stories are often set in familiar settings and explore themes that are culturally and socially relevant, making them highly relatable. Nollywood's growth was fueled by the entrepreneurial drive of Nigerian filmmakers, producers, and marketers who saw the potential in creating local content. The industry developed organically without significant government support or foreign investment, relying on a network of informal distribution channels and local financing. The Nigerian diaspora played a critical role in the expansion of Nollywood. Nigerian communities abroad eagerly consumed Nollywood films, which provided a connection to their homeland and culture. The demand for these films in African markets and among the African diaspora in Europe and the United States helped to increase Nollywood's global reach. The rise of digital technology in the 2000s further boosted Nollywood's growth. Digital cameras and editing software made filmmaking even more accessible, while the internet provided new distribution platforms. Online streaming services such as Iroko emerged, allowing Nollywood films to reach a global audience. As mobile phones and internet access became more widespread across Africa, Nollywood found a vast audience on digital platforms. Nollywood's impact extends far beyond Nigeria. The industry has played a pivotal role in reshaping Africa's image globally by providing authentic African narratives and representation. Nollywood films often portray African societies in ways that challenge the stereotypes depicted in Western media, offering a more nuanced and diverse portrayal of African life. In short, Nollywood gave Africa a voice in world media. The influence of Nollywood is felt across the African continent, with Nigerian films being widely watched in countries like Ghana, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Nollywood stars such as Genevieve Nnaji, Omotola Jalade Kehinde, Richard Mofe-Damijo have become household names across Africa and beyond. And Nollywood's unique storytelling style has inspired filmmakers in other African countries to create local content. This writer helped the Ugandan people to create the Ugawood film industry, which was fashioned around Nollywood, just to give one example. Furthermore, Nollywood has begun to gain recognition on the international stage. Nigerian films have been featured at prestigious film festivals, and collaborations with international filmmakers have increased, and Nigerian films are now popular on Netflix and other major movie streaming platforms in the world. In 2020, Genevieve Nnaji's film Lionheart became Nigeria's first submission for the Academy Awards Best International Feature Film category, which is a significant milestone for the industry. Despite its impressive growth, Nollywood faces several challenges. Piracy is a major issue, with an estimated 50% of Nollywood's revenue being stolen in illegal distribution. Additionally, the industry still struggles with issues related to production quality, as many films are produced with limited budgets and tight schedules, resulting in inconsistent technical standards. There is also a need for better infrastructure, including more cinemas, training institutions, and funding mechanisms to support higher budget films. However, efforts are being made to address these challenges. The Nigerian government has shown increased interest in supporting Nollywood, recognizing its potential as a driver of economic growth and cultural diplomacy. International investment is also on the rise, with streaming giants like Netflix, like I mentioned earlier, and Amazon showing interest in Nollywood content. The future of Nollywood looks promising as technology continues to advance, and with the growing global appetite for diverse content. Nollywood is well positioned to expand its influence further by improving production standards, addressing piracy, and attracting more international collaboration. The Nigerian film industry has the potential to become a leading force in global cinema, or in fact, it is already becoming a leading force in world cinema. The rise of Nigeria's Nollywood industry is a story that I know. It's a story that I know because I made the first film that started the industry, and I have worked in the industry for over 40 years as an actor in more than 120 films, and also as a writer and as a soundtracker. So I can say the rise of the Nollywood film industry is a story of innovation, resilience, and cultural pride. From its grassroots beginning in 1982, when I made The Echoes of Wrath, to the 1990s,